Hi everyone, today we are going to look at abstract methods and class. An abstract class is declared as abstract. This is the first condition. It may or may not include abstract methods. Abstract classes cannot be instantiated. Abstract class cannot be instantiated, but they can be subclass. An abstract method is a method that is declared without an implementation, without braces, without curly bracket, and followed by a semicolon, like this. Abstract, add the abstract in front of the methods, and then this is the parameter, okay? In the class include abstract method, then the class itself must be declared as abstract. This is also one of the conditions. So when you want to declare your abstract, you must add a public abstract class in here, okay? When an abstract class is subclass, the subclass usually provides implementation of the abstract method in the parent class. However, it does not, then the subclass must be declared as abstract. So let's look at abstract class compared to interface. What is interface compared? What's the difference between abstract class and interface? Abstract class is very similar to interface. You cannot instantiate them, and they may contain a mix of methods declared with or without an implementation. However, with an abstract classes, you can declare fields. You can declare fields in an abstract class, okay? So when you declare fields, right, it can be either not static, final, defined public, protected, or private concrete method. So what we are going to use is, we are going to use protected, okay? You don't declare it as private. If you want to declare as private, then you need the setter and getter. For me, it's not very good way to deal with it. And also not to use public. This is what we learn in the, how do you say, object orientation. So use a protected if you are doing abstract class. With interface, right, all fields are automatically public, static, and final. With interfaces, all fields are automatically public, static, and final. And all methods that you declare or define as default method are public. In addition, you can extend only one class. You can only extend one class, whether or not it is abstract. Whereas you can implement any number of interface. Which you should use abstract class or interface. How do you decide when to use abstract class or interface? Consider using abstract class if any of the statements apply to your situation. You want to share code among several closely related class. Example, the DSA queue and DSA circular. The DSA shuffle and the circular. You expect the class that extend your abstract class have many common methods or fields, or require access modifier other than public. So we need to have common fields, right? Like the tail and head. Tail and head, and another term is, what do we call, rear and front. And then you want to declare non-static or non-final field. We are not using static for our class, right? And we are not using final. Not much, except the default. Let's look at an abstract class example. In an object-oriented drawing application, you can draw circle, rectangular, blah 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 graphic object. This object all have the state, for example, position, orientation, blah blah blah, and behavior, for example, move to, rotate, resize, draw in common. Some of these state and behavior are all the same of graphic object. For example, position, fill color, move to. Other require different implementation. For example, if you want to resize a triangle, then it will be different. If you want to resize a circle, then it will be different. And example, you want to draw a rectangle, then in different. Draw a circle will be different. So this one is the one you want to implement. All graphic objects must be able to draw or resize themselves. They're just different in how they do it. They just differ in how they do it. This is a perfect situation for an abstract superclass. This abstract superclass. You can take advantage of the similarities and declare all the graphic objects inherit from the same abstract parent. For example, graphic object as shown in the following figure. First, you declare an abstract class graphic object. Abstract class of the graphic object to provide member variables of methods fully share all subclasses. And move to method graphic object also declare abstract method for such as throw, resize. They're implemented by subclass but implement different. The graphic object class can look something like this: integer xy, void move to new integer. This is the new position. Abstract void draw. The difference is the draw. The difference is the resize. The way you want to draw a circle is different. The way you want to resize a circle is different. Each non-abstract subclass graphic.object circles rectangle may provide implementation of draw and resize method. Example, if you use circle, right, circle extend this graphic object, then you can implement how to draw it. Because how to draw a circle formula is different. An example, how to draw a rectangle is also different. So you want to use a non-abstract class to extend it, okay? For the circle and rectangle. The difference between abstract class and interface is the type of method. Interface can only have abstract method, but abstract class can have abstract and non-abstract method. Final variables. Variable declared in Java interface are by default final. We cannot change it if it's final. But an abstract class, right, you may contain non-final variable. Since we want to use protected, right, so we don't use a final, we want to choose abstract class. And we look at the type of variables. Abstract class can have final, non-final, static and non-static variables. Interface have only static and final variables. Inheritance vs abstraction. A Java interface can implement using the keyword implements. An abstract class can be extended using the keywords extends. Multiple implementation. An interface can extend another Java interface only. An abstract class can extend another Java class and implement multiple Java interface. So that's the limitation of our inheritance. But a Java abstract class can have class member like private, protected, etc. Okay, we want to use protected. That's why we choose abstract class. Don't go and use interface. Okay. So if you want to use abstract class, right? Say example both is shape, right? We extend it. We extend it. And if you want to interface, right, we can implement multiple interface.